All right. Firstly, thank you to the ETA for giving Universal Processing the chance to be on the spotlight and for me to be a speaker for the first time. Got three questions. First question: what are the biggest challenges facing your industry today? Wow. Number one would have to be the highly competitive nature of fintech as it's become, as well as the immense pressure from industry consolidation. When I started in this industry in 1996, I would say there was about 20,000 plus ISOs out there. And with industry consolidation, with private equity coming on the scene, venture capital, and the big asset management companies, now a lot of competitors have been bought up and the industry's been rolled into what feels like 5,000 players. So there's much fewer players. And at the same time, these players are now being empowered with more and more capital. And that capital demands returns. So everybody's running and gunning and trying to increase in market size. Everybody's starting to fight for merchant count. Everybody's starting to fight for who has the best weapons, the best tools, the most functionality. And as a result, I think what is being forgotten is that the merchant should be at the core of that conversation. The merchant should be at the core of the industry. And some of these bigger players are forgetting that we should have one-to-one relationships with the business owners that we serve, and that every fintech organization exists to bring value to the merchants. And again, it's being forgotten, but that's why Universal Processing exists, because we're here to truly bring value however we can to the business owners out there. So we're confident in our ability to survive. Next, although I did just mention value, the merchant needs are evolving, and that is a huge challenge. 30 years ago, you could literally get by with a Knuckle Buster, a Zon Junior XL, a Trans 300 or 330. It's been so long. And then, obviously technology evolves and you need wireless terminals, you need better terminals, thermal paper became a thing. And then in the last decade, as long as you had a PC-based point of sale system, you were good. But now in 2025, going on 2026, you're looking at cloud-based POS. You're looking at merchants asking for buy now, pay later. You're looking at loyalty programs. You're looking at check programs. You're looking at online ordering. You're looking at reservation systems. And it's getting tougher and tougher to meet these merchant needs in-house, which means that you need to structure some very firm partnerships to fill the gaps that the merchants are looking for and that you cannot fulfill in-house. Last but not least, I would say the aging of the fintech market, the fintech industry itself, because 2-3 decades ago, fintech was still the darling of Wall Street, the darling of private equity, and on everybody's minds. But nowadays, the innovators of the past 2-3 decades are aging out a little bit, and there's a little bit of a culture shock or a generation gap that I hear more and more fintech outfits are facing. They're integrating Gen Y, the millennials, as well as Gen Z, Zoomers, and we've got to learn more about this work-life balance that they speak of. We've got to be more accommodating for vacation time, for flex time, work from home to a certain extent. But at the same time, I say that you still need to be principled and recognize that there are certain cultural and fundamental beliefs that are ingrained in the DNA of a company. And that's the challenge. There is the challenge, because you've got to mix all that and find just the right balance to keep as many people happy and as many people motivated as possible, so you can fulfill your duty to the industry and the merchants that you serve. Thank you. Okay, ETA. Question 2. How will your session help solve them? Meaning the couple problems that I brought up. Wow, this is why reading, strategizing, and thinking will usually help you. I went question by question, so kind of pigeonholed myself. But the answer to question one, which is what will I discuss about competitors and industry consolidation and how we combat that, the answer for me is partnerships. Because if you find the right partners, if you find the right tools, if you build the right relationships and you secure them, then you are as strong as yourself, your potential processor, your sponsor bank, your ISV, and then you can, if you build a moat and solidify those partnerships, then you can fight nearly any size competitor because you know what you're doing, you know your relationship with the merchant, you know the value that you bring to the table. You don't try to be too diversified and you say, hey, look, I can solve this problem, I can solve this problem, I can solve that problem. I'm good at solving these problems and I'm down to fight. So that's one. In terms of merchant needs, which I stated is a challenge, again, I'd say the answer is partnerships. If you truly see yourself as a partner to the merchant, just like you're a partner in a two-party relationship, if there are challenges within that partnership, you will find solutions. If you are a partner to the merchants you serve, you'll find solutions, and that's really what we do. Our merchants need something. Most of the time we tell them, we'll figure it out. Very, very, very rarely will we tell them it's out of our wheelhouse, but that discussion has come up before. There are merchants that are too sizable for us, are too complex for us, or just outside of our offerings, but most of the time we figure it out because we treat our merchants as partners. And again, just like with their competitors or against their competitors, we leverage our existing partners in order to become more powerful and in order to scale the products and the reach that we have. Number three, aging of fintech itself. I don't want it to be a cop-out, but the answer is, again, partnerships. We are a company that no matter what background, what gender, what your beliefs are, we're looking for partners. We're looking for people that will buy in and truly dig in and say, look, I'm here to build something. I'm here to make a difference. And I want to talk about all of the above at this upcoming ETA session. So stay tuned. Okay, question three. Why should no one miss it? Why should no one miss this session? Well, I got to give credit to the other panelists in the session because one of them is our largest partner, Merchant Industry. I got to congratulate the founders on a very recent nine-figure, am I allowed to say that? Nine-figure M&A deal selling to private equity. Yeah, that's pretty sizable for an industry, pretty sizable for a business that was just across the water in Long Island City, bootstrapped by a couple of daring entrepreneurs. And representing them are a couple of very, very established industry figures that have done multiple large transactions, that have been CEOs of prominent companies. And then, tagging along with them is this rando right here that grew up in Queens, New York, that was just feet on the street, merchant level salesperson knocking on doors. I'd like to bring a little bit of a grassroots perspective on what it looked like going from, signing one merchant at a time and getting a monthly paycheck to building in, a registered ISO, moved on to a registered ISO MSP, and now a full service provider, a processor, so to speak. So hopefully everybody who's interested, the thousands in attendance at the ETA, will be interested in what my colleagues have to say. And I don't know, I might make a good point or two. We'll see. All right, guys, looking forward to it. Take care.